children, welcome to our class 6th Science, Chapter 7. The topic is separation of substances. Today we are going to learn the activity 1, that is use of water in separation. Collect some solid materials such as ghee, wax, sand, sugar, salt, turmeric powder, dal, plastic, wood, iron nails. Take a bucket full of water and a beaker. Now try to discover the following. Which materials float on water? Which materials sink in water? Some of the materials they can float on water and some of the materials they can sink in water. For example, paper, feather, oil, plastic, wood. These are the materials they can float on water. Stone, bricks, honey, coins, marbles. They can sink in water. Iron nails. They can sink in water. And which materials are soluble in water and which materials are not soluble in water? Some of the materials they can soluble in water. For example, salt, sugar, oxygen gas, vinegar, ghee, wax. They can soluble in water. Some of the materials they can insoluble in water. For example, sand, turmeric powder, flour, oil, stone, etc. You have studied about the materials and their properties in a previous chapter. We make use of several properties of the materials for separating the desired items from the mixture. You might come across some situations where you have to separate some components from a mixture. Write down 2 examples of such situations in your textbook. Due to several reasons, separating of mixtures is important. Most of the materials are there in our surrounding, which are the mixtures of 2 or more components. For example, when we need to obtain pure water from dirty water, then we have to purify the substances. That is dirty water, or we might filter it or distill it. The remaining components of the mixture are salt and sand. Salt is soluble in water and sand is a non-water soluble substance that can be separated by the process of filtration. The insoluble sand remains in the filter paper while the filtrate contains the dissolved salt. Why do we need to separate different components of a mixture? Give 2 examples. We need to separate different components of a mixture to separate harmful or non-useful substances that may be mixed with it, to separate even useful components if we need to use them separately. 2 examples are milk or curd is churned to separate the butter. Grain is separated from stacks while harvesting. And what are the methods used to separate the substances? The same in all these instances. The separating mixtures, methods of separating mixtures are manual separation, magnetism, dissolving, filtration, evaporation, crystallization, etc. Thank you, my dear children.